Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make these modern crochet pot holders. This easy hot pad pattern features a chevron stitch texture, also known as the herringbone single crochet. You can find an in-depth step-by-step video tutorial for this stitch on my channel. Just click on the link in the top right hand corner. You can find the free crochet pattern along with alteration instructions on my blog. The link is down below in the description bar. You will need Aran or worsted weight cotton yarn. All of the yarn amounts are in the blog post. And also make sure to use 100% cotton yarn. Don't use acrylic or your pot holder might melt. A 5.5mm crochet hook, a darning needle, and some scissors. For this project I'm using We Crochet's Dishy yarn. We're going to use 2 strands of yarn held together. If you only have one skein of yarn, pull one strand of yarn from the outside of the skein. And pull your second strand of yarn from the center of the skein. This way you can work with 2 strands of yarn but only use one skein at a time. To begin, hold both strands of yarn together and create a slip knot. Insert your crochet hook into the loop. Chain 28. Once you have 28 chains, rotate your foundation chain so that the back bumps are facing you. We're going to skip the first chain and then single crochet into the back bump of the next chain. To single crochet, insert your hook into the chain. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. We're going to work in the back bumps of the chain all the way across. We're now going to herringbone single crochet in the back bump of each remaining chain. Insert your crochet hook into the left 2 strands of the single crochet you just made. Insert your crochet hook into the next back bump along the chain. Yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 3. And that's how you herringbone single crochet when the right side is facing you. So repeat the herringbone single crochet until the end of the row. So insert your hook in the 2 left strands of the last stitch. Insert your hook into the next back bump along the chain. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 3. When you pull up a loop, keep it nice and loose so that it's easy to work into when you crochet the next stitch. So I'm working a herringbone single crochet into the last back bump along the chain. In total, you should have 27 stitches. Row 1 is the right side of your work, so this is the side that will have the chevron stitch texture. Turn your work. As we crochet more rows, it'll become very obvious which side is the wrong side and which side is the right side. For row 2, the wrong side is facing us. So instead of inserting our crochet hook like normal from front to back, we're going to insert our crochet hook from back to front. To begin row 2, chain 1, and chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to insert our hook from back to front and crochet a single crochet into that first stitch. To make it easier to work the herringbone single crochets, you can rotate your work so that the right side is facing you. We're going to herringbone single crochet on the wrong side. You're going to insert your hook and pick up those 2 left strands of yarn. And then insert your hook from back to front through the next stitch. Rotate your work so that the right side is facing you. Insert your crochet hook and pick up the left strands of yarn. Insert your crochet hook from back to front. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Make sure your loop is loose. Yarn over and pull through 3. So you're going to repeat the herringbone single crochet for the wrong side in each stitch until the end of the row. When the wrong side of the stitches are facing you and you're pulling up a loop, just as a tip, I like to rotate my crochet hook clockwise. This way my hook is pointing down towards the table as I pull through the stitch, but as I pull up the loop, my crochet hook is facing up towards the ceiling so that my yarn doesn't slip off. When you're at the end of the row, for nice even edges, when you pull up your loop for your last stitch, make sure that you pull up your loop so it's the same height as the rest of your stitches. At the end of row 2, you should have 27 stitches in total. Turn your work. To start row 3, we're going to chain 1, and then single crochet into the first stitch. We're going to herringbone single crochet with the right side facing us in each stitch across. At the end of the row, you'll have 27 stitches in total. Turn your work. And now we're going to repeat rows 2 and 3 until the end of row 17. At the end of row 17, you should have a square shape. We're now going to crochet the chain loop handle. Make sure that the right side is facing you. Chain 20. Once you have 20 chains, remove your crochet hook from the chains and insert it into the second to last herringbone single crochet stitch of the final row. Reinsert your crochet hook into the chain. Slip stitch to join. Slip stitch in each remaining chain. That first loop was the loop that was on the crochet hook, so it's not an actual chain. So skip that first loop and then work into the first chain. Once you've slip stitched into each chain, you should have 20 slip stitches in total and a nice sturdy chain. Slip stitch along the edge of your pot holder in that corner stitch to secure your loop. This is the stitch that's connected to the beginning of the chain loop. We're now going to crochet a single crochet border around the edge of the pot holder. So single crochet evenly along the edges of the pot holder. The exact number of stitches doesn't matter, you just want your stitches to be nice and even so that your edges don't ruffle or pucker. If your edges are ruffling, you've placed too many stitches along the edge. If your edges are puckering, you've placed too few stitches. When you reach a corner stitch, place 3 single crochets into the corner. Continue to single crochet evenly along the edges, placing 3 single crochets in each corner until you reach the chain loop handle. When you reach the chain loop, the last single crochet should be placed in the second to last herringbone single crochet. And to finish off, you're going to slip stitch into the corner stitch. Fasten off and leave a tail of yarn about 25 centimeters or 10 inches long. Take your tail of yarn and wrap it tightly around the base of the loop 5 to 10 times. When you're happy with the way it looks, flip your pot holder over so that the wrong side is facing you. Weave in your ends. And you've finished your chevron pot holder.